If everyone could please make it to your seats, we want to get started here. Good afternoon and welcome. My name's Chris Morgan, class of 91, and I'm proud to serve as the athletic director here at E-Town. Before we get started, I'd like to just take a moment and introduce a few of our senior leadership team that are with us today. Brian Falk, who's our Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Brian, little wave. There you go. Hi, Brian. Bob Karen, Vice President for Operations and Auxiliary Services, and Bob oversees athletics, and President Betty Ryder, who oversees all of us. Thank you for being here. Special thank you to our student-athlete greeters today, Brooke Husko, softball. Brooke, little wave to everybody. Say thanks, Brooke. Molly Kleinert, women's soccer. There's Molly coming in. There we go, Molly. She obviously gave a really good tour, Molly. You got a lot of claps there. Good. Jack Gress, men's lacrosse. Chris Kildoff, men's golf. There's Chris. And a special thanks to the Blue Jay Athletic Association, who leads the process to select our outstanding Hall of Fame nominees. The BJA is also the fundraising arm of athletics, which helps provide us opportunities to enhance the athletic experience for our student athletes. I'd also like to say a thank you to the Institutional Advancement team for their support with today's event, especially Ben Osterhout. Everybody knows Ben. If not, Ben is standing in the back of the room. Ben, we appreciate all you do. Your organization and planning kind of keeps us all in line. So it's with great pride that I get to welcome you to this Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Today we gather to celebrate the extraordinary achievements and contributions of those individuals who have left an indelible mark on our hearts, our fields, and in our community. This Hall of Fame is not just a place to honor greatness, it's a place where we pay tribute to the dedication, passion, and unwavering commitment that have shaped E-Town athletics. Each inductee and award winner being recognized today has not only achieved remarkable milestones, but has also served as an inspiration to those that followed. As we look around the room, we see the embodiment of hard work, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Each story represented here is a testament to the potential and the remarkable heights that can be reached with dedication and passion. Today, we honor not just the inductees, but also the teams, mentors, families, and communities that have played pivotal roles in their journeys. We recognize the collective effort that has contributed to the success of each inductee. We also look to the future, inspired by the legacy that these inductees leave behind. Their stories remind us that greatness is not confined to the past. It is an ever-evolving journey that can be achieved by those who dare to dream and persevere. I want to extend my congratulations to our award recipients and inductees who would join the distinguished ranks of our Blue Jay Athletic Hall of Fame. Your achievements are an inspiration to all of us. Congratulations. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the president of Elizabethtown College, Dr. Betty Ryder.
Thank you, Chris, and it's great to see you all here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon before we hopefully all have a chance to gather later this week with friends and family for Thanksgiving. I am honored to be serving as president, leading a great team of faculty, staff, and administrators, and overseeing, in general, so many wonderful Blue Jay students. In prior years, when I've come up here, I have acknowledged, apparently to Ben O's great delight, that I was not a student athlete. But upon reflection, I think I may have sold myself short. You see, I grew up in the country with no neighbors, none. We were not near a neighborhood. Instead, I had my brother and 60 acres. My brother was an outdoors kind of guy, and he badgered me into playing football, baseball, and wrestling. Our unsanctioned wrestling matches were filled with illegal moves that constantly got us in trouble with my mother. When playing baseball, my brother derided me for throwing like a girl. I ran to tell my mother this, and she told me to go right back outside And next time, proudly tell my brother that, yes, I do throw like a girl. I would like to think that being the workout buddy for my brother led to his success later on in high school. He lettered in varsity football, baseball, and wrestling. So at least there was one athlete in the family. But I would also like to think that those workout sessions, informal as they were, also led to my strengths and my skill set in many different ways over the years. When I became a developmental psychologist and immersed myself in research on positive growth and development, I became a true champion of the student-athlete model because it was clear to me, and it continues to be clear to me with a growing body of research, that the brain works best when the body is physically active. The two work in synergy, and the student-athlete is the perfect blending of the mental with the physical. In addition to the value to the individual athlete, I can't emphasize enough the importance of athletics and the overall success of the institution, starting with recruitment and carrying through with retention and graduation rates. Our student athletes are incredibly important to us, and as students first, they do amazing work in the classroom as well as in the fields, courts, or wherever they play their sport. So thanks to all of you for your impact that you have on our students to provide the best possible experience here at Elizabethtown College, student athletes. And now I would like to invite Veronica Nolt to the podium to provide the invocation.
Good afternoon. If you would join us in prayer, please. Dear Lord, we're grateful for the opportunity to be a part of Elizabethtown College athletics and enjoy the relationships we have because of it. In your mercy, we ask you to watch over and bless our Blue Jay families everywhere. Help us to use our gifts for good. Please bless this food and our time together. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Catering will be around to your table to dismiss you to go to the buffet. So thank you.
If everyone could begin to take their seats again, we'll get to the next part of our program. Before we bring our Hall of Famers to our stage, we'd like to give one last thank you to catering and our student staff that just served us such a wonderful meal. Thank you so much. Today's Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame inductees join the 255 athletes, 10 coaches, 7 teams, and 2 athletic contributors inducted since establishment in 1975. Only about 2% of former Blue Jay student athletes have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. To honor all of the Ira R. Herr Hall of Fame inductees, we would ask all Hall of Fame members in the audience today come to the stage to be recognized and a group photo taken. From the Hall of Fame class of 1979, Dan Reitmeyer. From the Hall of Fame class of 1982, Skip Roderick. From the Hall of Fame class of 1989, the 1961 field hockey team represented by Marty Epley, Lois Herr, and Sally Huber. From the Hall of Fame class of 1996, Carol Hall Kreider and the 1982 women's basketball team represented by Yanni Kaufman. From the Hall of Fame class of 1999, the 1989 men's soccer team represented by Chris Morgan and Skip Roderick, and the 1988-89 women's basketball team represented by Yanni Kaufman. From the Hall of Fame class of 2003, Marty Epley. From the Hall of Fame class of 2006, Nate Weber. From the Hall of Fame class of 2008, Bill Doherty. From the Hall of Fame class of 2009, Chris Morgan. From the Hall of Fame class of 2012, Yanni Kaufman. From the Hall of Fame class of 2019, Sally Huber. From the Hall of Fame class of 2024, Barry Donner. And from this year's class of 2025, Brad Confer, Brooke Dotterer Mendez, Aaron Walton Flanagan, Lois Herr, Bill Meany, Mike Nolt, and Ben Smith. If there are any Hall of Famers in attendance tonight we did not call, please come to the stage as well. Brian Krause.
Somebody needs to sit next to Bill. You go on the far side?
Let me comb my hair. What a collection of Blue Jay talent we had there on stage. And now, to formally introduce our 2025 inductees. Bradley D. Confer, class of 2003, please come to the stage. A three-time All-Max selection and a third-team All-American, Confer was a member of the 1999 Middle Atlantic Conference Championship team that saw the Blue Jays complete the decade with 6 MAC championships and an overall record of 182, 35, and 12. In 1999, the team advanced to the second round of the NCAA Division III tournament, with Confer second on the team with 7 goals and tied for 6th in points with 17 as a freshman. The team captain was also named to the All-Mid-Atlantic Region First Team twice in his career. In 2002, Confer was named to the College Sport Communicators Academic All-District First Team. He enters the Hall of Fame as one of 29 men's soccer players to earn All-America honors in the program's 87-year history. Friends, on behalf of the college, the Blue Jay Athletic Association, and the Alumni Association, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr, Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Brad Confer.
So I'm limited to 3 to 5 minutes, so I'll try and stay brief. I'd like to thank Chris Morgan and the Hall of Fame induction committee for this honor bestowed upon me. And then there's a handful of other people I'd like to thank while I'm up here. Start with my coach, Skip Roderick. I know Skip when I was playing in high school and he recruited me here. And you think after years of playing soccer, you know a lot about the game, but when you get here and you see his knowledge of the game that he bestows upon you, changes you from kind of a young athlete to help shape you into the person you are. So thank you so much for everything you've done, Skip. Gene Clemens, who was kind of our spiritual leader, our eye in the sky. I mean, Gene was a true mentor to me. He helped me academically throughout the time here, and it was amazing to always have Gene taking pictures on the sideline. You'd get on a bus trip and there'd be a set of pictures, and it's quite a lot of memories that are had thanks to Gene's great pictures. My sister Emily, who unfortunately couldn't be here, she's with her family at Disney World this year, but she's also a Blue Jay alumni, and I have to thank her for her support. She spent probably a little unwillingly many hours at soccer games growing up, and was very supportive of my soccer career. My buddy who is here tonight with his wife, Rick Petrosky. So Rick I knew from coaching soccer. We both grew up in the Lancaster area. He was a few years older than me, and so he was a great mentor when I started here. How to handle 3-a-day practices, how to handle Skip's temperament at times. And I think he gave the most important advice, though, of anybody when he was like, hey, the key is you got to find a good girlfriend early on and stick with her. And so I did that. And so obviously when I was a freshman, I met my wife, Beth Confer, who was a field hockey player here as well. And we've been together and had 3 wonderful kids since then. Of course, the most important people that I need to thank is my mom and dad. They spent, countless hours of supporting us, instilling the importance of not just soccer, but sportsmanship and athletics and academics amongst Emily and I. They spent a lot of money to send us to camps, to make sure that we had the best shoes. And Mom, you probably know this already, but some of that money might have come out of the office, so you didn't necessarily know about it, but to get the new pair of shoes or whatever was necessary to be successful. So I thank you guys more than anything for the support that you gave over the years to that. So I'll kind of leave in the last minute with the next generation. If you want to be an engineer, Tyler, or go into medicine, Liam, or be a teacher, Nora, the most important things are academics. You wouldn't be where I was without academics. I knew I wasn't going to be a professional athlete, and it was the academics that was the most important thing. And I think E-Town was great because it balanced my athletic desires with my academic achievements. And so I'm thankful for Elizabethtown for that. So remember, academics are the most important thing before you can be successful on the field. I'm just going to finally close with a thank you again for everything. And my last remark is going to be, I'm not a mega donor, but remember, soccer is supposed to be played on grass. And Old Trafford is not going to be changing to turf anytime soon. So it's already in the works. I understand that, but we had such a beautiful grass field. It's unfortunate that we have to change it. I understand some of the reasons why, the drainage issues and whatnot, but soccer, that was such a beautiful field to play soccer on. All right, thank you very much.
Brooke Dotterer Mendez, class of 2009. Please come to the stage. A four-time All-Commonwealth Conference team member, Dotterer Mendez ranks fourth all-time in career goals with 47, career points with 122, and game-winning goals with 15. The two-time All-Region honoree is also eighth all-time in career assists with 28. Earning MAC Commonwealth Rookie of the Year honors in 2005, the forward helped the Blue Jays to 13 wins that season. Dotterer Mendez was a member of the 2006 Commonwealth Conference Championship team that advanced to the NCAA Division III Sweet 16, scoring a goal and adding an assist on the team's run through the national tournament. Throughout her career, she also recorded 4 hat tricks and was a member of the 2000 team that made a second consecutive trip to the NCAA Division III tournament. Friends, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr, Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Brooke Dotterer Mendez.
Good job, Brad. Way to just get up here without the paper and all. So congratulations to you. I just want to say congratulations to everybody, all the inductees here at Elizabethtown College. I always dreamt of this moment since I was a little girl. My parents always said, you were always that soccer player that came out with the ball. It's like a group of bees running around, and I was the one that came out with the ball all the time. So congratulations to everybody that's in the room tonight. Also, thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for looking at all of the achievements of all of the inductees here sitting in this room tonight. So I'll make this short and sweet through my speech. So first, I want to thank everyone who came out to support me today. Everyone around this room fills my heart because so many of you have been by my side since the very beginning. Mom, Dad, Lewis, Nevaeh, Grayson, Sadie, Alan, Caroline, Aunt Linda, Andrew, Julie, David, Ronnie, Ron, Rachel, Roman, and Cadence. They're all sitting in this room tonight. Your love, encouragement, and presence mean more to me than words can express. Some of you were there when I first laced up my first pair of cleats as a little girl with big dreams and endless energy. Others have grown with me through childhood, cheering me from the sidelines, whether I was winning or losing, learning or leading. And some of you, I have personally coached myself, my daughter, and my son. Many of you have watched me compete at the highest levels, traveling around the world for tournaments, traveling to Ireland with Skip and the boys soccer team, training through blood, sweat, and tears, and celebrating the joy of winning state championships. You stood with me, not just in moments of victory, but in the quiet in-between moments that shaped me. The long drive, the tough losses, the extra practices, and the belief that tomorrow could be better. Some of you have been in this journey, come full circle, as I transitioned from a player to a coach, guiding, mentoring, and pouring my heart back into a game that gave me so much. And among all the faces in the room, 2 stand out to me the most, my own children. You are the youngest here today, but you are by far the most important to me. Coaching you as a soccer coach has been one of the greatest joys of my career, but coaching you as your mom, that's been the privilege of my lifetime. Watching you grow, compete, and find your own love of the game makes me prouder than a trophy ever could. One day, I hope I'm sitting in your seat and watching you give a speech like this. Always remember, this honor didn't just happen overnight. The honor took a lifetime of commitment, dedication, and hard work. You both have all of those things, and I couldn't be more proud of you and for you to call me your mom. I want to take a moment to honor the people who truly made all of this possible. That's my mom and dad. Everything I am, everything I've accomplished, everything I became, I owe to them. They gave me the tools to chase my dreams, the strength to get back up when I fell, the courage to believe in myself when I had doubts. They sat in the cold, the heat, in the rain, in fold-up chairs and stadium bleachers, many nights at this E-Town field, the beautiful grass soccer field. They were the loudest voices in the stand, even with the blue rag do-rag my dad had. The sacrificed vacations, the weekends, money, and sleep so I could chase something I loved. And not once did they ask for anything in return, except for me to do my best and make them proud. The values they still inside me, dedication, the resilience, and passion have stayed with me far beyond the soccer field. Watching my dad stand by the fence as I scored goals and did the dirty bird, I would look at him and he would look at me with that big smile, and we would do the sign, "I love you." My mom, in the big games we won, she would be there for my first hug and endless love. The big games we lost, she would be there with even more big hugs. Keep fighting and never give up, Brooke. She was the one that drove to Rohrerstown to pick up my grandmother, my nanny. My nanny never missed games when I was in high school. I can still hear her singing the national anthem in the stands while tears were falling down her face every single time. These are the role models, my biggest fans, and truly the heroes behind this honor tonight. To my brother, thank you. We shared our parents, our home, and so many moments that made me who I am. Life took us in different directions at times, and I know it wasn't easy. But through it all, I've always felt your pride in me. I'll never forget one of the most vivid early memories at E-Town, my first dance at a freshman party here. I didn't have a date, and I'll never forget him saying, "I'll be up there. I'll be your date." And you were here. We danced, we laughed, and we made one of those beautiful memories that still make me smile today. Even when you pulled the fire alarm in the dorm room, that night reminded me of the bond we always had. Fun, supportive, unshakable. We've created a lot of memories together, and I treasure every one. I want to take a moment to thank my husband, my partner, my rock, the steady foundation behind every milestone of my coaching journey. Thank you for allowing me to chase my dreams with everything I had and believing in me even on the days I doubted myself as a coach. When I took over the program that never won a single soccer game or never even scored a goal in a season, you were the one that kept reminding me that change takes courage and heart. And after just 1 year, when we made it all the way to the state tournament, it was your voice that carried me through that. There are seasons where you were, in so many ways, a single parent holding down the fort while I spent long nights at practices, endless hours on the road, and countless weekends. Coaching in Wyoming, yes, the state Wyoming, there's a lot of travel time, a lot of sacrifices. It takes 4 hours to get to one game. You were always by my side. Even now, as I continue coaching, you're still right there supporting me. I love you more than words can ever express, and I can't thank you for enough you did for our 2 children. To the beautiful school of E-Town, thank you for giving me this incredible opportunity. This place shaped me not only as an athlete, but as a person. As I look out today, I see a coach who believed in me from day one. Coach Donor. Coach, I'm sure there were moments when you want to kick my A double scribble. And honestly, there were probably moments when I deserved it. But together, look at what we accomplished. You pushed me, you challenged me, and refused to let me settle for anything less than my best. You didn't just coach me, you invested in me, and I'm forever grateful for that. I'll never forget beating Messiah, one of the biggest moments of my playing career at Elizabethtown College. I'll always remember my socks burning on the heater on the sideline, the dirty bird, the tailgate parties, and all the laughter, grit, and chaos that made our team like family. After winning the Commonwealth Conference Championship and advancing all the way to the 3rd round, the Sweet 16 of the NCAA Division III tournament is something that will live with me forever. Getting sick on the bus rides and knocking out hat tricks to win in overtime, those were the days. Every blade of grass on that beautiful field carries a memory. Early morning practices, late night bus rides, and the thrill of victory. The lessons learned in defeat. E-Town gave me lifelong friendships, unforgettable moments, and a standard of excellence that carried with me into my coaching career. This community wrapped itself around us, lifted us up, and taught us what it means to play with pride, purpose, and heart. I will always be proud to say I wore this jersey, number 11, played on this field, and learned from a coach who saw something in me before I saw something in myself. Wow. Here I am as a Hall of Famer, unreal. Thank you, E-Town. Thank you, Coach Donor. You changed my life.
Aaron Walton Flanagan, class of 2008, please come to the stage. A three-time All-Commonwealth Conference honoree, Walton's name can be found all over the Blue Jays record book. The two-time All-Commonwealth Conference first team member is second all-time in points with 1,702, third in field goals made with 628, and free throws made with 383, fifth in points per game at 17.5, and seventh in free throw percentage with an 808 free throw percentage. Walton is also sixth and seventh in single-season free throws made at 118 and 111, ninth in single-season points with 501, 10th in single-season field goals made with 185, and ninth in single-season points per game at 20.9. Friends, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Aaron Walton Flanagan.
A little bit taller. I want to thank the committee for this honor. It's truly a pleasure to get to come back here. I'm especially excited to see Coach, who has been an honoree many times up on this stage. I was excited to hear the win against Susquehanna yesterday. Brought back memories. If you remember, she told me, you got to take it easy this game. My knee was kind of bothering me. She said, just take it easy. We ended up needing to go to overtime, and we hit a buzzer beater at the overtime, and Coach falls into her chair, and we all kind of laughed. And that was kind of the team we had. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and we really did enjoy our time here. Also had the opportunity to travel. She took us on trips to St. Thomas, to Ireland, and they were some of the best memories we had while I got to play my last 4 years out. So thank you, Coach. Also with me, I can't go without my family who's here. My mom and dad and grandmother who made the trip again, 2 hours from New Jersey. They made that trip, I couldn't tell you how many times. They didn't want to miss a game. I'm the oldest of 8 children, so making it out to every single game that they could is nothing less. I have 3 children there. I couldn't imagine with 8 having to travel from New Jersey, but they did it, and I truly appreciate every time that they were in the stands and everything that they did throughout my career, because without them, I would not be standing on this stage, so thank you. Also, my husband, he is here with our 3 children, Peyton, Connor, and Grayson. I've gotten the pleasure to start coaching them, but I'm looking forward to what the future brings off the court and on the sideline with the 3 of them. So I do appreciate that they made the trip here as well. As far as I want to congratulate everyone else who's been inducted. It's great catching up. It's great seeing the advancements that the college has made since graduating in 2008. Hard to believe that we're coming up almost on 20 years since that time. I don't feel that old, but so it's awesome to see the facilities and what our college has done. So I truly, when I remember coming and doing the tour, just falling in love with Elizabethtown and knew that this is where I wanted to play my last 4 years. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. It has helped in my career. I started in special education. I'm now an administrator at a high school. I did some coaching in between, but really this was the foundation that has really brought me to where I am in my career. So I thank everyone who's part of this. I wish all the student athletes the best success in your seasons and upcoming seasons. And again, congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Lois K. Herr, class of 1962, please come to the stage. Herr served as co-team captain of the 1961 field hockey team, where she was a key member of the Blue Jays' outstanding defense. A Central Pennsylvania first-team honoree, Herr helped the Blue Jays go undefeated and unscored on during their 1961 season with an 8-0 mark. During her time on defense, she scored 1 career goal. For their historic season, The 1961 field hockey team was also inducted into the Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame in 1989. Friends, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Lois Herr.
Thank you all, and I'll be thanking specific people as we go, but my talk will be short. It's quite an honor, really, for a defensive player to enter the hall, because we don't have the opportunity to build up the stats of scores or saves. So I think I'm pretty special in that case. I watched our E-Town team this year in a game, and I admire their skill, their stamina, and their strategy. I don't know if we had all that, but I suspect that some of them may end up in the Hall of Fame themselves. This is really a special honor to me because of my father, Ira R. Herr. He was E-Town's director of athletics and devoted coach here for over 30 years. He loved his job, and he loved his athletes. Not long ago, I wrote a book about the 40s when a lot of the athletes served in the military or in conscientious objector status, men and women, because he coached women too, wrote him letters. And from those 200 letters and my mother's help, I compiled a book, Dear Coach, which the college has made available on the table outside, which is yours to take with you. It does demonstrate what was going on campus then, but also the bond between the athletes, which stayed with them through their struggles. I too want to thank the Blue Jay Athletic Association and the athletic department and Chris for perpetuating this Hall of Fame. It means a lot to me, and it's particularly meaningful now that I'm in it as an individual for my father's sake. There aren't many people around who remember him anymore, but I think there's still a few who even played for him. Carol Kreider did. And thanks to all my hockey coaches. And I say all because my high school coach was the legendary Jane Hoover, those of you in E-Town might remember. And my college coaches, Julie Risser, Jean Ann Rogers, and Allegra Hess, who's here too. I also share this honor with my teammates. And I go back a way here because I'm talking about teammates in hockey in high school. And with me today are Judy Groff and Betty Johnson, who were teammates in high school hockey. And we've stayed in touch over the years, as teams sometimes do. And then in college, Marty Epley was right there in the goal all the time. We were the closest to each other. And Sally Wenger-Huber, she was up where she could score. My coach and college team bravely let this left fullback have a shot at the goal one time. And I think, as my father's philosophy really was, winning does matter. And in the long run, it's the coaches and the team members, however, that we remember most. We all have specific memories, like I remember when Marty saved the penalty bully in Shippensburg and kept our scoreless season. We all have those moments, but it's really the teams and the coaches that we remember most. And I'm grateful for all of you, even in behalf of my father. I'm grateful for all of you and happy to congratulate you to be part of the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
William J. Meany, class of 2012, please come to the stage. A two-time qualifier for the NCAA Division III championship, Meany reached the pinnacle of his wrestling career, earning All-America honors in 2012. Meany won a MAC championship and Metropolitan Wrestling Conference championship in 2012 as well. Completing his career with 63 wins, Meany was also a MAC championship runner-up in 2010. Friends, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Bill Meany.
I'd like to begin by honoring two incredible men who are no longer with us, but whose influence on my life was immeasurable. Tyler Erdman and Coach Joe Whitmore. These two taught me lessons that went far beyond athletics. They believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. They challenged me to push past my limits I didn't think I could reach. And their guidance, their encouragement, and their relentless commitment to helping me grow shaped the person, teacher, and coach I am today. Every time I encourage my athletes to reach higher, work harder, or believe in themselves, I can still feel their influence still guiding me. To the other inductees here today, I'm honored and congratulations. It's truly humbling to be recognized alongside such outstanding individuals. Your dedication, your passion, and your achievements inspire me, and I'm proud to be part of this group. And to the Athletic Association Committee, thank you. Thank you for recognizing me and for including me in this incredible tradition. This honor is deeply meaningful because it comes from a community that helped shape me so profoundly. During my time at Elizabethtown, I began to understand what true growth really meant, both mentally and physically. Coach Dan Bechtel spent countless hours, a lot of hours, talking with me about confidence, resilience, discipline, and how to carry myself in moments of adversity. He helped me see the mental strength and physical development go hand in hand, and that believing in yourself is just as important as the work you put in on the mat. These conversations shaped the foundation of who I became as an athlete and as a person today. Later, when I began coaching, I encouraged my own students to develop that same sense of inner belief. And along the way, I came across an old, powerful African proverb, Ubuntu, which essentially translates to, I am because we are. A reminder that people who guide us play a profound role in who we become. That idea that none of us achieve anything alone has guided me through every stage of my life. Every success I've had, every lesson I've learned, and every goal I've reached is because of these people who surround me and who believed in me, who pushed me to be better. And that brings me to the core of what I want to say today, and that's thank you. To my parents, I owe you everything. You taught me the value of hard work, sacrifice, and belief in myself. You were there for every match, no matter the distance, every disappointment, and every celebration. You showed me that effort is just as important as talent, and that the support of my family is the foundation of everything we do. To past coaches, thank you for your guidance, your high expectations, and your unwavering belief in me. You shaped my approach to athletics and taught me life lessons that still guide me today. To teammates in the past, thank you for your friendship, your competitiveness, and the shared drive to get better every day. To Eric Walker and Dan Bechtel, I truly cannot thank you enough. Coach Walker, I will never forget the first time we met. It was 9 o'clock at night, and Coach met me in the pouring rain, waited for me for, I think, an hour to make sure I got handed off to the overnight that I was staying with. That moment showed me exactly the kind of commitment and belief that you had in your athletes. It set the tone for everything that followed. Coach Bechtel, you never gave up on me. After one of the toughest losses in my career, you were there at 7:30 the next morning with a text message to drill and make sure that I believed in myself and I was ready to go. You then flew out to nationals on your own time and your own money to support me and showed me what true dedication and mentorship really looks like. Your examples shaped not only the athlete I became, but the coach I am today. And finally, to my brothers. You were my first teammates, my toughest competitors, and my greatest supporters. The lessons you taught me about loyalty, resilience, and always pushing each other have stayed with me throughout my life. Everything I am is because of you, and I'm grateful for that every day. Elizabethtown College shaped the person and professional that I am today. It taught me the value of service, the importance of community, and the power of believing in others. It is also where I met my wife, something that changed the entire course of my life. The foundation that we built through E-Town has carried us through every chapter since, and our children are a reminder of how much this place has given me long after my athletic career is over. As a teacher, I try to create a classroom where every student feels supported, capable, meeting them where they need, and helping them both grow academically and personally. As a coach, I focus on developing athletes as people first, modeling discipline, humility, and resilience while encouraging them to believe in themselves. Whether in school, sports, or everyday interactions, I strive to put others first, lead with integrity, and help people become the best versions of themselves, a commitment that began at Elizabethtown and continues to shape everything I do today. To everyone who's been part of my journey, mentors, teammates, friends, families, my brothers, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Being inducted into the Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame is a tremendous honor that I will carry forward with pride, gratitude, and a commitment to the values that have brought me here. Thank you.
Michael L. Nolt, class of 1985. Please come to the stage. A team captain, Nolt has made his mark in several categories in the Blue Jay record book. On the mound, he ranks 6th in single-season appearances with 21. He's tied for 3rd in single-season complete games with 8, and is 9th in single-season innings pitched with 79 2/3. A member of the 1983 team that qualified for the NCAA Division III championship, he is also 5th all-time in career strikeouts with 220. Friends, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Mike Nolt.
Good afternoon. When I got the call from Chris about being inducted into the Ira Herr Hall of Fame, I was very surprised. It's been a long time. And the only question I think I had for him was if I was going to be expected to stand up here and say some words today, which I wasn't looking forward to. So he said it would probably be nice to acknowledge a few folks. So in case this goes off the rails, remember it was Chris's idea. I'm very fortunate to have my parents here with me today. And so first I'd like to thank my mom, who provided the primary taxi service to all the games and practices, and was always my biggest supporter. It didn't matter if I struck out 3 times in the game or if I pitched a no-hitter. She was always there for me. My sister also got to share in the driving duties once she turned 16, and so I need to thank her because I don't think her idea of a good time was driving her little brother and his sweaty teammates around to baseball games in the evening after school. So thank you. And then there's my dad, who was my backyard catcher and had no equipment, but he had a lot of bumps and bruises from my curveballs in the dirt and errant fastballs, but he never complained about that. And also, if he came to a game, I could always count on hearing 2 words from the stands anytime I walked somebody. He would always say, "Throw strikes." So, Dad, thank you very much for keeping me laser focused out on the mound. I had no expectations of coming to E-Town because I had signed up to go to Messiah, which is a bad thing. But I got a call from the AD here, inviting me up for a tour in the spring of my senior season. So I found out that I could get the day off of high school and said, sure, I'll come up. I really didn't have any expectations of coming here, but in the end, made one of the best decisions in my life. I came here. I made a lot of great friends. I had fantastic teammates that made me a better player. One of those, Jerry Sollenberger, is here today. I got an outstanding education, and most importantly, I met my wife. And so I really need to thank her, too, for all her support throughout the years and for listening to all those baseball stories, which have been embellished greatly over the last 40 years, as you can imagine. I had the privilege of playing for Coach Owen Wright when I was here as a freshman and a sophomore. And some of you may know he was the original godfather of E-Town soccer. And of course, Skip, AKA Godfather 2, is here tonight as well. In our sophomore season, final year for Coach Wright, we were able to get him his first bid to the College World Series, where we got knocked out by Marietta, Ohio, 3-2, and they went on to win the national championship. And my wife will tell you that I don't remember a lot of things, but I can still remember the name of the starting pitcher that day for Marietta. It was Terry Mulholland. And so for those of you not familiar with that name, he started the 1993 Major League Baseball All-Star Game and also threw a no-hitter for the Phillies. So I always felt that even though we lost honestly. So I stand here, my team that never won a national championship. We never even won a conference championship. And actually, I was never an all-conference player. So I'm humbled by the other inductees that are up here. In all fairness, I did have a few good moments and had a pretty good junior season, and had some aspirations of maybe making the all-conference team. But back then, we didn't have cell phones or GPS devices or email, and so the coaches would go to a central location. They would bring hard copies of their statistics of the players that they wanted to nominate, and they would have a discussion and vote. So a couple days later, I got a call from our head coach, which was Roger Hall at the time, and he informed me that I did not make the all-conference team. And after a bit of a pause, he said it was because he could never find the location for the meeting and wasn't able to submit any of his nominees. So I figured it was no big deal. My senior season would be even better, but I forgot that we had to take gym as a requirement for the curriculum. And I ended up getting badminton elbow, of all things, and wasn't able to pitch for much of my senior season. So now you can imagine, flash forward 40 years, my next call from the athletic department is much better news, as Chris calls to tell me about this opportunity today. So I definitely need to thank the Old Timers Selection Committee that dug back through the archives and provided me with this opportunity today. And lastly, I actually want to call out Chris Morgan, for something he did a few years ago, and I just found out about recently. I think most of us know Coach Joe Whitmore, who was an icon here in the department for 50 years and had many different hats that he wore during that time. Coach Joe, unfortunately, his body and his mind began to fail him in his later years, and he wasn't able to perform all of his responsibilities here. But Chris found a way to make him be able to come in here every day, do what he could do, allowed him to maintain his dignity and his purpose in life, which was to serve the athletic department and the student athletes here at E-Town. So Chris, your actions speak volumes about your character, about the character of the athletic department in turn, and of the college. So thank you. Your acts of compassion make us all proud to be Blue Jays. Thank you.
Benjamin C. Smith, class of 1998. Please come to the stage. A MAC Golf individual title winner in 1995, Smith earned spots on the 1995 MAC All-Conference First Team and the 1996 MAC All-Conference Third Team. In the 1995 MAC Championship, he took first, carding a .232 across 3 rounds. In the 96 MAC Championship, Smith placed third by once again shooting a .232 across the 3 rounds. In tennis, playing primarily at number 1 singles and doubles, Smith recorded 8 wins as both a singles and doubles player. Friends, I am proud to introduce Ira R. Herr Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Ben Smith.
Thank you for that. I feel like quite a loser compared to all the other accomplishments for the rest of the people here tonight, but honestly, I'm very honored to be part of this group. It was kind of a funny story how I even got up here on this stage. I remember it was like the beginning of the summer. I was, I think, golfing, and I got a text message from Chris saying, "Hey, I'm Chris Morgan, the new athletic director," or I don't know if you said new, but give me a call. I have some exciting news. I'm like, never heard of you. Like, I'm not calling this guy. Couple days later, same text comes through. I'm like, who is this guy? This is like, it sounds like a scam. So it's funny. Like another week goes by. I'm out at the driving range, run into Skip Roderick. He's like, Ben, did you get a message from Chris Morgan? And I'm like, I did. Why? He's like, you got to call him. So kind of just funny story. I literally wouldn't have called the guy back. I'm sorry. I didn't know you at the time. But again, I'm very, very honored to be here. Good to see an old coach in Skip, Mark Clapper, an old teammate of mine. I was basically just a petulant kid back then. I didn't really grow up till after college, after my college years, that just liked to play golf and sometimes play tennis. I know Skip wanted to kill me some days, but you know, I do appreciate being asked to be part of this great group. Met my wife here, which is the best thing that happened to me in my life. I'd like to thank my in-laws being here, Arlene and Tony, and my two boys, Ben Jr. and Matthew. So, like I said, I'll keep it short and sweet, but E-Town Athletics gave me a lot. I want to thank the school for that, and never forget being part of this group, so thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for this year's inductees. I now welcome to the stage Blue Jay Athletic Association Chair Hob Crozen, class of 71, to the podium to introduce the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Thank you for the introduction. It is a privilege and honor to introduce the Blue Jay Athletic Association Distinguished Alumni Honoree, Nate Weber. Now, I have a speech prepared. But guess what? He decided to take a vacation. Is it on the table, Chris? You see anything? No, I don't know if I have anything here either. I'm not sure where it's at. But don't worry. When life takes away your script, it often gives you something even better. And this afternoon, we have the ultimate upgrade. The person who knows him best, not just as our honoree, but his dad. Please welcome Madison Weber, class of 2023, to the stage. Madison, would you do the honors?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madison Weber, and I'm happy to be with you here today. I'm a 2023 E-Town graduate and currently teach high school mathematics at Manheim Township School District. I am proud to say I was a member of the women's cross-country and track team here at E-Town and majored in secondary mathematics education. Speaking of alumni, I'm honored to introduce today my dad, Nathan Weber, who will be recognized for the Distinguished Alumni Award. It's only fitting I'm presenting my dad today because my family calls me JR, which is known for Nate Jr. He was a proud E-Town student back in the day, of course, playing in basketball and majoring in business. He still gives back to the college as he currently is a regional recruiter for the admissions team. Over the years, my dad has given his time and energy to multiple organizations and groups of people and has led with faith and compassion. He certainly has lived by E-Town's motto, educate for service. Just to name a short few, my dad is involved in our church community. He was a part of a Trenton, New Jersey's CYO, organized a Thanksgiving drive when serving as principal for McGalliard Elementary School, took many free throw shots at a cancer fundraiser in memory of his mom, which led to a world record, by the way, led many basketball clinics and camps, coached countless groups of student athletes, and lastly, does everything possible for his family. I am proud to celebrate him today and introduce to you my dad, Nate Weber. Thank you.
Did we surprise you there?
He did.
Your name?
Oh.
We got to get the picture.
Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Ben and Chris, for and the college for putting this wonderful event on. And congratulations to all the Hall of Fame inductees. I'm very touched for receiving this honor. Elizabethtown's motto, Educate for Service, has stuck with me since I graduated from E-Town in 1987. I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I just remember this. I went on a Brethren Response team from the college down to Appalachia to help, I guess, people that were affected by the floods. So that really hit home with me. Our motto inspired me to aspire to a life of service. Shortly after graduation from E-Town, I was able to play basketball for Athletes in Action. I traveled to the Philippines for a month on a missions and service trip. To be honest, I was a bit apprehensive due to the fact that the flight was over 20 hours. And during that time, I wasn't great in the air. Our motto, Educate for Service, directly influenced me to face my fears and take part in this service event. During this trip, I lost like 14 pounds because the gyms in the Philippines at that time were like made of concrete and, you know, sweat. And then instead of drinking water, I drank like some Coca-Cola, which dehydrates you, which that was a problem. Also, you know, as we were working with some of the villages, I contracted lice all over my body. And but besides that, it was a great trip and so worth it. As I left the country, I felt proud of our work of service. Yes, I was 25 and was able to play competitive basketball just for a few months more. I love Lancaster County. I love coming back. A lot of my close friends were from Lancaster County. And it took a lot of confidence to me to move to Mercer County in the Trenton area in 1990. I dropped everything, was working for CNA Insurance Company, dropped everything and moved to Trenton to coach at the college in New Jersey. I'm thankful that I was able to coach basketball and become an educator for over 30 years in the Mercer County area. During that time, I was able to empathize with all people and help wherever I could as a coach, teacher, and school administrator. Before Andy and I had our beautiful daughters, Meredith, Madison, and Macy, we were parents to my boys' basketball teams at McCarston High School in Trenton and Nottingham High School. We would attend church services with the team on Sunday and take part in all team functions. At 62 years of age, I must say I am thankful for all my experiences and chances to serve others. I've had positive and negative experiences. Not all my players and students have been successful spending time in jail or having other challenges, but it was very rewarding to motivate and see how many have failed or fallen just like us and like me, but never gave up and continued to strive for excellence. One of my teams from McCarston in the early 90s had a surprise get-together for me in September. I was truly touched to be with them again. I was a very passionate coach, a father figure to all my players. To this day, most of them have my cell phone number, and they do reach out to me when they need to discuss anything or just to check in on me. These were some of the most rewarding times in my career and prepared me for my years as an athletic director, vice principal, and principal. I'd like to introduce my family at this time. My wife and I have 3 daughters, Meredith, Madison, and Macy. You just heard from Madison. Meredith is unable to be here. She coaches a premier soccer team, and she's doing that in South Jersey today. And you heard about Madison. My youngest, Macy, is 20, a junior at Bucknell University, phenomenal singer and performer. She's a double major in music and business marketing innovations. My sister Marcy and her husband Dave are here. My sister, such a supporter of me. She went to Catawba College, North Carolina. I was at a military school in Virginia before I came to E-Town. She traveled all my games, checked in on me, and when I was at E-Town, she came to most of my games. Huge protector of me. And when it comes down to service, she's the primary caregiver for my father who's unable to be here today. So thank you, Marcy. Love you. One of my coaches and close friend, Larry McCumsey, and close friend and E-Town Hall of Famer Brian Krause are in attendance. Max right here, one of my coaches from Calico. I've known him for over 40 years. Been a huge mentor to me. And in Denver, Pennsylvania, we had an alley, a barn, like a Hoosiers atmosphere where we played basketball every day. Brian lived there. But thank you, Mac, for everything. BC, he's a Hall of Famer here at E-Town. I played with him his senior year as a freshman. Been close friends ever since. We played one-on-one a lot, and I became better because he was a lot better than me up until, he was just a great player. Also here, Jim Kreider, another mentor, outstanding basketball coach from Annville, Cleona, Cacalico High School. Just has always cared for me. To this day, he calls me out of the blue just to talk about things during the day. He would play me one-on-one in the alley, really roughed me up to make me tougher. Thanks, Jim. Let's thank my coaches. Coach Don Smith. Coach and I had we had a very close relationship. I communicate with him up until he passed away. But we had a lot of conversations, talked about strategy for the games. I went to the military school for 1 year. I was looking to go to Roanoke College and some other schools. Before I left for Roanoke, in August, he contacted me. I came to E-Town, talked. It was the best decision I ever made. Coach McElmoyle, my head coach from Cacalico, dealing with some health issues. He couldn't make it. Just another great mentor. Also in the crowd here, I don't want to miss anyone. If I did, apologize, but I have Coach Dan Reitmeyer as assistant. Thank you for everything. Coach Marty Thomas Berme was assistant. Thank you so much. And then also my wonderful parents, Margaret and Phil Weber, who always supported me to the highest degree. My mother passed away several years ago, but just whatever I needed, basketball camps, my mom and dad would pay for. Just anything I needed to get better as a player or a person. And my father's unable to be here, but I thank him so much. There's many others that have guided me. So at this time, I just want to recognize my wife, Andy. She's here at the table. It was her support through all these years, which allowed me to care for my school's families, players, and be involved in the greater Trenton area as a whole. As an administrator or basketball coach, it's basically 24/7. I wasn't home as much, and it was tough because she's so amazing. As a principal, I'd probably be out 5 to 6 days a week in the evenings because my style was trying to be at almost all the events. During this time, Andy was earning her doctorate in molecular biology from Princeton. She worked and also working as a scientist at Merck and being a mother to our 3 daughters. Not once did she ever say no or complain that I was out and getting home late. She attended most of my games when I was coaching basketball and other school events when I was a principal. Thank you. Well, I'm just finishing real quick. And I retired from public education in 2022, but I'm not retired. I'm athletic director at Notre Dame High School in Mercer County, Trenton area, and I'm a regional admissions recruiter for E-Town College here. I love that position. I get to speak to tons of families about E-Town. Now more than ever, it is important to carry out our motto, educate for service. Caring for others may help solve some of the challenges of today's world by refocusing attention away from ourselves to others and what they need. It is my hope that all Blue Jays carry out our motto for years to come. Thank you again for this wonderful honor. I love E-Town College and everything it stands for. Thank you.
Oops, excuse me. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who will introduce the Joe Whitmore Award winner. She is a true legend at E-Town, a Hall of Fame member, a dear friend, and a coach who led Elizabethtown College women's basketball team to new national champions. Please welcome Yvonne Kaufman.
I used to be able to do this right off the cuff and be able to really just come up here and talk to you, and now I think I better read it because I don't think I'm going to hit everything that I want to say about Allegra. It's my pleasure to introduce our awardee for the Joseph A. Whitmore Outstanding Service to Student Athletes Award. And you've heard about this from others. This award recognizes a former member of the Elizabethtown College community who, like Coach Joe, has consistently gone above and beyond the call of duty to touch the lives of Blue Jay student athletes. Our candidate, Allegra Hess, was actually my field hockey coach my senior year of high school. Following that year, she came to Elizabethtown, and during her tenure here, she coached basketball and tennis and was the assistant coach of the undefeated unscored-upon 1961 field hockey team. In addition, she taught many of the physical education classes and was responsible for the intramural program. During her time at E-Town, she also mentored and counseled many female and male athletes. Known for teaching in her Blue Jay tunic, Elizabethtown Blue Jay tunic with the white sash, you could always find her around the gym, which is now the College Theater. Following my senior year at Bridgewater, Coach Hess told the college administrators here who I was and got me an interview for the open position here at Elizabethtown. She's the person responsible for me getting a job here in the physical education and athletic department. Allegra left Elizabethtown and moved to the Chicago area to work on her master's degree. After getting her degree, she stayed in the Chicago area using her skills to counsel young people. A few years ago, she returned to Lancaster County to live at the Brethren Village. Although 3 years ago, Allegra lost most of her eyesight, she was still able to win 2 gold medals in the Lancaster County Senior Games. Isn't it amazing that I'm introducing Allegra Hess for the Joe Whitmore Award, and the 3 of us are all graduates of Bridgewater College? It is with great pleasure to introduce my friend and mentor, Allegra Hess, for this award.
We are honored here to have Joe's wife Lois here with us today. Please help on stage to help present the award. Blue Jay Athletic Association Joe A. Whitmore Outstanding Service Student Athlete recognizes a member of the E-Town College community who has consistently gone above and beyond their duty to touch the lives of the Blue Jay athlete. This time it was given unselfishly to make the Blue Jay student athlete experience special. On behalf of the Blue Jay Athletics Association, it is with great honor I present Allegra House, the Joseph A. Whitmore Outstanding Service to Student Athletes.
Well, that was a Bridgewater trio, and I can tell you it's completed by the fact that I was in my physical education classes with Joe Whitmore. He sat beside me. So it is full. Life goes in circles. I was certainly surprised to be asked to take this award. I wasn't fully aware of what it meant until last year. But Joe was a wonderful guy. I knew him personally. So I'm pleased. I want to thank Yanni for her kind words, for the introduction, and the committee choosing me, reaching back into the 60s in order to do this. Well, I thought maybe I'd refresh your memory a bit of the 60s. And I don't know how many people were born that are here that were in the 60s. It was a time of upheaval, social change, challenge to leadership, and generally a time when the social norms and culture was really being challenged. We had 3 assassinations: President Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, and Dr. King. The Vietnam War was going on. There was protests on the West Coast in the student riots. There was women's riots being challenged, and of course the violence that came with the desegregation attempts in the South. But at E-Town in the 60s, I don't remember it affected us a whole lot. I was affected when I had to change a grade for a draftee who would be drafted if he didn't get the right grade in physical education. So I think I saved his status at that point. But E-Town had 3 presidents during that time. It went from 600 to about 1,200, nearly 1,800 students in those 8 years. I thoroughly enjoyed my life here, and the coaching and the teaching and all of it. Let me see what I want to say next. The job that I had, Yanni described pretty clearly. I was associate professor of physical education. I taught classes. I coached. I did intramurals. I was involved in all the coaching and all 3 teams. But I did coach a women's basketball team, and I saw myself as kind of a bridge between the excellent work of Julie Risser and the legendary work of Yanni Kaufman. And I kept the seasons winning seasons. They weren't remarkable, and we certainly didn't have any statistics that were kept. But I could tell you that I had some really good players who really worked hard, and it was great to work with them. Well, the other thing is I was interim director of physical education while the Thompson Sit Gym building was being built. So I see it still standing and looking good, so I guess I did okay. Sort of a liaison between the administration and the construction crew. Well, I had some with my work, I can say this at this point that I did have a lot of students coming in and out of my office. It was next to the swimming pool. It seemed to be kind of a meeting place. There were people who stayed all day in my office. At least it felt that way. And then others who came and went. And I did hear their stories, and I was interested, but there were sometimes their dilemmas were beyond my comprehension, I guess. And I thought about getting more counseling courses. When I had a sabbatical the next year, I chose to take work in counseling, and I got hooked and got my degree in counseling psychology, and spent 50 wonderful years in the western suburbs of Chicago as a counseling psychologist, and staying physically active the whole time, may I add. I really did all kinds of physical things. I always loved physical activity. I had some, and maybe from a psychological point of view, I came up with some life learnings from my coaching years. The first one, learn from others. Well, as with the men playing in the same court as we did in the old gym, that one regulation floor, we often were, they had the prime practice times. We practiced after they were done, but we were often watching their playing. And it was a time to learn, for us women to learn, because we knew eventually we would get away from playing half-court basketball. And so it was a time to learn from others. Let me see, the next thing was, speak loudly, because the fans were running in the gym. As a coach, you had to be, in practices at least, you had to yell in order to be above the fans, which were maintaining the temperature in the gym. Oh, I can't read these things. Do your part in keeping the floor clean. The floor the gym was used for a lot of things, and we had to keep the floor in good shape. So it was always being mopped and cleaned, so it'd be in playing condition. But there were kids in street shoes walking across it all the time, and we had to be the monitors of that, which didn't make us real popular. Speak up for fairness. The men got new basketball shoes every year, Chuck Taylor's, I believe, and the girls had whatever was left the year before if it fit them. It was difficult. They didn't get new shoes by any chance. So speak up for fairness. When in a crisis, be resourceful. Don't panic. If the bus did not arrive to take us to an away game unexpectedly, or with some catch up in scheduling, we were left standing without a bus for an away game. So we walked outside, looked around, saw our cars, jumped in it, and drove to the game. And always had oranges at break time. Do they still do that? Oh, that's too bad. We had real oranges at halftime, but we always served good ones. You get juicy ones, but also give them to your visitors. So treat visitors well. I did the taping. There was no training. I taped the ankles and I taped shin splints for 8 years for the JV and the varsity team practices and games. So you can't tear tape with wet hands. First impressions are important. We showed up at the visiting team with hose and heels. Make a good impression. We look good. Oh, and the other one, never coach your sister. Try something else, so don't try that. If we're playing close games in that auditorium, in our gym, the gym, we didn't have a cheering section. You can imagine half-court women's basketball is not a spectator sport, and it was usually a few close friends and family. And I believe my sister-in-law, who's a loyal one, is here today. I remember her coming to our games, and she and about a half a dozen others. So when you're in a tight game, you can't count on the fans to pull you through. You got to believe in yourself, and that was, I think, an important. We did that. I really had a good bunch of players, and as I say, we did win more games than we lost. Treat your teammates well. Have them work together and learn to know each other and enjoy each other, because they're going to need that kind of support the rest of their life. We all do. So that's a good time to relate to your team. And remember the long hours that you've played your sport, the long hours, maybe years that you put in to excel in your chosen sport. Well, life demands no less. So you'll need to continue that. I suggest that you take care of your body. You heard that here tonight from the others, and I say amen to that. And I did enjoy my counseling, but I also thought you'd like to see a jacket from the 60s, women's basketball team. Go Blue. Go Blue Jays. Okay, thank you. Thank you all for being here. I can't get my stuff together. All right, I think I got it all. My junk all together.
In the history of Elizabethtown College athletics, there are only a few that can call themselves national champions. The 1960 men's soccer team, Eric Mast, Becky Donaker, Jenny Hafley. The 1982 and 1989 women's basketball teams, the 1989 men's soccer team, and Kevin Clark. Even fewer athletes can call themselves two-time national champions in our history, Donaker and Mast. Last year, Kelty Oster joined this talented group, winning both indoor and outdoor 800-meter national championships. Commemorating this outstanding achievement, we have a special video highlighting Kelty's performances.
Last lap that Bell really asserts her position at the front, but it may have taken something out of her down the backstretch. She has 5 or 6 meters on the field. She hits 100 to go with no challengers in sight. Could Megan Bell become the dominant force in the women's 800 moving forward?
This is getting crazy close. No, we can start to see the effort really creep up on Megan Bell. Is she strong enough to hold off these contenders? They are out wide in lanes 3 and 4, and they're going to pass her on the outside to a surprise victory. Oh my gosh, what did we just see?
Kelty Oster from Elizabethtown comes out of nowhere in that last 100 to go 2:07 to overtake a fading Megan Bell. Oster, who wasn't on the radar at all in that first 600, just comes alive on the last lap.
Kelty Oster is the exact athlete that we were talking about who ran a personal best in the prelim to qualify for this final. All sights were not set on her. She was running with just
The weight of the world has been lifted from her shoulders, no expectation, and comes up huge over the final 100 meters to run 2:07.70, another personal best by over a second to be your national champion.
She had the fastest close in that field. She closed that last 233.13, which was amazing, absolutely. Bell fades a little bit in the home stretch to take third. Replay on your screen. Bell looks to have an insurmountable lead here with 50 to go. And then it looked like Matuk might be the one to come around her, but the athlete from Elizabethtown, Kelty Oster, surprises them all, shocks the world, and takes the win in the women's 800-meter run.
Well, if we didn't know who you were before this weekend, Kelty Oster, we know who you are now. Those pigtails are going to become a symbol of excellence in women's 800-meter running in Division III, 2:07.70, personal best, passing three athletes over the final 200 meters to win your first national championship. Congratulations to everyone at Elizabethtown and Kelty Oster. Noah, run us through those All-American positions.
Yeah, just when you think positions are locked up at 600 and the 800.
This morning begins to close down that gap, as does Thornton Filioff.
With 200 meters to go, three of the fastest D3 800-meter women in history are going neck and neck. The indoor champion battling Megan Bell. 150 meters to go. It's Bell and Oster. Who will have enough here with 100 meters to go?
Bell took it out so hard, and she's broken all of the field except for one. Oster pulls up to the shoulder, but can she get around? It's Bell, it's Oster. They're side by side with 50 meters to go. Oster has not been able to get around and close the door. She's got about an inch there. They lean for the line, and we look to the board. It did look to be Oster. It was 2:05.09. Kelty Oster from Elizabethtown, the senior, gets it done over Megan Bell, both athletes setting personal bests.
Holy moly, what a run for Kelty Oster. Repeats as the calendar year 800-meter champion, waits till the final 100 meters to make her move, and moves to 6th all time.
That was an absolute dogfight down the home stretch. Bell took him out hard. We'll take another look at it, and Oster moved up to the shoulder, and they just absolutely battled. You see it here. Oster hasn't even gotten to the peripheral vision yet of Bell until just about here. You see Bell look over and wonder if she's got enough in the tank to close the door. They go side by side, making it very difficult for this humble announcer, but Oster pulls ahead at the end to win the national championships too in the women's 800-meter run.
Woo.
I would now like to ask Kelty Oster to join us on stage. On behalf of the Blue Jay Athletics and Elizabethtown College, it is our great honor that we present this special commemorative national championship ring to Kelty Oster. Now behind every student athlete's accomplishment is a dedicated coach and support team. Brian Falk, please come join Kelty on stage. It is also our great honor that we present this special commemorative national championship ring to head coach Brian Falk.
Hi, everyone. I didn't prepare a speech for today, but I'll say a few quick words. First of all, congratulations to all of the inductees today and all the award winners. It's a really amazing accomplishment, so I'm honored to be able to share this day with you guys. Thank you to the Blue Jays Athletic Association for allowing me to also join today. And I didn't know they were going to play a video, but yeah, thanks to them for setting this up and being able to give me this award. Thank you to my friends and family, especially my parents, who they were all there through every step of the journey, so I really appreciate everything that they've done. Thank you to my coach, Brian Falk, for giving me all the tools and guidance that I need to be able to succeed, and I really am grateful for all of the dedication he put into me and my training. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time here at Elizabethtown College. I'm so grateful to have spent so many wonderful years here at such a great school, and I'm honored to be able to give back a little bit by bringing some championships back home to the Blue Jays. So thank you.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a speech either, but I would like to thank the Blue Jay Athletic Association for recognizing what was accomplished here in 2025 by Kelty. A lot of people don't know that she had a lot of lost time during the course of her career from injuries and things that it did keep her off the radar nationally a little bit, and there was some surprise that she did what she did. Surprise outside the college, of course. You heard the announcers. But, and I don't know who here needs to hear this necessarily, but one thing that her year taught me is that, people don't come to E-Town, the kids don't come here to compete because we have the most to offer. I mean, it's not about that here. We definitely have what you need. The college provides the kids everything they need to go as far as their ability will take them. Included in that equation is the community here, and not to speak for Kelty, but I saw her at practice for her entire career here, and the people around her, and how they picked each other up, and it really is the community and the teams, I think, that helps these kids accomplish what they do, and I have no doubt the Hall of Fame inductees today would probably say similar things, and it's just why it's such an honor and privilege to coach here. Thanks.
This concludes today's program. Would all of the award recipients and inductees please come to the front for group photos? We will also take any family and friend photos you would like. Please drive safely and have a very happy Thanksgiving.